So I like to start by first acknowledging a team here who work behind the scenes, our directors, representatives of the NSIA, members of the Office of the Chief of Staff in the presidency here, many people who do a lot of very unrelenting, demanding work towards actualizing these projects that many of you never see, perhaps will never meet except for occasions like this. But there will probably be no PIDF without what they do. So when I speak here about the PIDF, it is they who really are speaking. I'm just a representative. So that said, let me also say that for those who are not familiar with what the PIDF is a Presidential Infrastructure Development Fund. It started, I think, around 2017 or 2018, thereabouts, and it was a response to the clear insufficiency of our national annual appropriations to meet the very, very big capital and infrastructure commitments that we had to discharge. The fund is made up of returns on investments. So some of our dividend income from the NLNG is in that fund. The other big component of the fund is monies that had been, to use street language, stolen from Nigeria, from previous administrations, taken out in hundreds of millions of dollars. And President Buhari has been advocating for the returns of these funds. Some of them have come in, some with very, not very palatable conditions, but nevertheless, some of the monies have come in. And so, what is different from this administration and some administrations in the past, therefore, is that while some administrations were taking our money out and going to stash them away by individuals, not the administration as a whole, some people were behaving badly. This president sees the need to bring back those monies and invest them in some of the things that I will show you and use them to improve the lot of Nigerians, because that money really belongs to us. Now, the fund is managed by the Nigerian Sovereign Investment Authority, NSI, so that's why they are here. So they manage the funds, they pay the contractors. So again, as far as these funds are concerned, the money doesn't come to our ministry, we don't touch the money, we don't see the money. What we do is we execute our contractual obligations with our contractors. We certify stage payment. This has been done. This is the estimate, is measured, is calculated based on the BEME. We certify that it is due for payment, and we send it to NSIA. NSIA now pays the contractor. They have their own consultants too, who also go, so they don't just take our word for it. So that is the governance around this. So I'm going to start, well, I think that deals with essentially this slide, the background to the fund. What you see here are the projects under the PIDF. It's not, they're just a few projects. So there are those projects that have given us some headaches, if you like that word, as a country for some time. The Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. That road has been in the making since maybe year 2000. and no construction worthy of the name has taken place there until this fund kicked in, really. The other project is the second Niger Bridge. Again, we've heard about it. Second Niger Bridge is coming. As I tell people, you hear about the second Niger Bridge just when elections are coming. And after that, nothing happens again. So that project is here now. And then, of course, the Abuja Kaduna Zarya road. The dualization of that road took place around 1986. I think it was about 175 kilometers of it then under the Babangida administration. It was completed in 1991. And since then, 91 to 9 is about 30-something years or thereabout. So that road has reached the end of its design life. So it has to be rebuilt. So that's why you will see potholes, you will see failures. Roads don't last forever. They are designed to be rebuilt. So that's why you will see potholes, you will see failures. Roads don't last forever. They are designed for a number of years, subject, of course, to maintenance and also, more importantly, lack of abuse. So if you don't abuse it, if you maintain it, it will achieve its design life. So that road has reached the end of design life and is now due for reconstruction. So let's start with the second Niger Bridge. This is works going on. This was our last trip. I think in, that was March, right? When did we go? Man, time flies by for me very quickly, so pardon me. Now, those who have followed this project will know that our ministry, either myself, the directors, visit regularly to monitor. But again, for the benefit of this meeting, we have a monthly meeting called the PIDF monthly meeting. And at that meeting, it involves myself, the Minister of Finance, because there are financial issues, the MD of NSIA. Meeting is chaired by the Chief of Staff to the President and all our directors. And what happens is to assess progress. And from reports from that meeting are passed on to the President because he's very, very passionate about this project. So he has first-hand knowledge of what is going on this project, even without actually visiting. So last year we visited, the Chief of Staff said, well, we see these things on slides, the contractors present to us every month. I want to go and see what is going on. So last year or so, we went to all the trips, all the 3 projects, but the Chief of Staff was only able to accompany us then on the Kaduna Zarya, where we had a town hall meeting. Some of you might remember. His work schedule here made it impossible for him to complete the 3. So this time he said, let us go and see the bridge. So that's what. And what you see here really is the last lap of work going on. So let me move a little more quickly. The first slide to the left is the link road. And those structures you see in the middle are the toll plaza, 16 in all, where this thing. So what is left now, and the buildings that will service it, what is left is just the canopy and all of that. The one to the right is the access route to the bridge. And the one to the bottom left and right left are aerial shots of the bridge. So those 2 places where you see like red items, they are structures for launching the beam. So those are the 2 places left to complete the bridge work. And they're just a few meters, maybe the distance between here and here. So I think one part of it would have been completed by the 15th of March. That was the deadline. So of what we're dealing with. In the middle there is that bridge. The sky blue area, let me see, I think there's a pointer here somewhere. Yeah, yes, this is the River Niger and all of its tributaries. So this part is the bridge. This is the bridge itself, and this part is the access road, all this blue part up to here. I hope you can see. So then there is another part of this component. So all of this from here to here is 206 billion naira, thereabouts. 1.6 kilometer bridge and 10 kilometers of access road combined. Now, from here to here is 17 kilometers of access road in, I think this is the, this is the Anambra side, I think. This is the Anambra side. So there's an interchange here, which is part of what we are doing now, but this green part is going to come later. It's not part of this current project. So we call it phase 2A. And then there's this red part here, also, that links this side all to here. This is the delta side. We call this phase 2B. And again, that's not part of this current project. But there will be work that will continue after we have delivered the bridge and the main access road for now. So let me go quickly. This shows you a view of what has been done, a longitudinal view and a sketch. So all of these are the piles from beginning to here. Then you will have somewhere here later what the engineers call an abutment, which is like to ramp up. Am I right? Yeah. Because I'm not one of them, but they try to teach me. So these are all the piles. Now, unfortunately, the details are not very, very clear. But let me just, I think I have something on my notes that I want to emphasize here so that you just understand there will be questions around this. Yes. So right here, right, the top level, highest point of the bridge is 49 meters. 49 meters. So if you understand that the average building from floor to ceiling is 3 meters, if you do the calculation, you are looking at about a 16-story building in terms of real high point. Now, this place is the River Niger during the rainy season at full speed. And this place is the River Niger during the dry season when the river level drops. This low point on its own is 13 meters, that low point, so which is about 4 stories building. This middle point where it gets to about 25 meters during the rainy season is the equivalent of about 8-story building of water. So that just tells you what we have had to do. Then all of these are the sectional views of the piles. Each one of these has at least 25 piles. You know those things that they pile into the ground. Each one has 25 to make one column. Because this is a navigation channel for big barges. So it is designed to withstand, I think, about the capacity of a vessel. If it collides with it, a vessel is designed, I think, for about 2,000 tons resistant capacity. So that's the some of the things I can tell you about that. Now, so what you have here are just some details, and I will come back to this later. The length of the road that I told you about, the amount, 206 billion. The amount that has been certified to date is 160 billion. and the percentage level is 91%. At the moment, 1,486 people are directly employed here. So this is the place where people go every day. I say, leave home and say, I'm going to work. So if you look at that, that is 1,484 families. But I will come back to that. Then the spin-offs, the indirect jobs, and I will come back to this again. 8,110 people live off this bridge. Because this is happening, they are employed. Not employees of the company, but they benefit from this. So let me quickly, I will skip this because I'll come back to it in my conclusions. So let's just talk about what is happening. So we took some people on our last inspection. This is what some of them are saying. We are happy. We have been hearing all this while about the second Niger bridge, but today at least I am stepping on it. The FG has really actualized the dream. That's Stella Ibuka. Then we are happy. We thank the FG for making our dream come true. This has been a dream for many people. Maureen, there's your KK. Then I am happy about it. At least it relieves a lot of pain on the part of traffic. The essence of coming to Nature Market via Asaba will become a thing of joy. I have a property along the road, which I am praying they will get to that point where they will compensate those of us whose property has been affected. So I pray the bridge will be completed tomorrow. Okenta, Okechukwu. So this is how in different ways, apart from those who are directly employed, this project is already touching people and is not yet finished. So again, what people are saying, one Nollywood legend showers praises on President Buhari, confirmed, blah, blah, blah. The second Niger bridge has been linked. The next generation of Igbos will ask who built the bridge. The Igbo elders will have to say Muhammadu Buhari. Then the future young Igbos will ask again, how was he our enemy? Yawa go boss. The reasoning and so on and so forth. But there's been a lot of... So let's move quickly to Abuja, Kaduna. So these are, as I said, some of the comments in the public space on social media. I'm sure many of you see it. There's a lot there, but this is us. So, yes, Abuja, yeah, sorry. Abuja, Kaduna, Zarya provided some background just to let you into it. This is a 375-kilometer project. It's actually the biggest project in Nigeria. The cost is in the order of 700 billion. That length of 375 kilometers has 41 bridge components inside, 41. And this project started, I think, in 2018. So it was the last to start. But just to dimension the scope of work. So in the others, we are talking about 11, 10-kilometer road and a 1.6 kilometer. This is 375 kilometers over, I think, 4 territories. FCT, Niger State, Kaduna State, and Kano State. So that's how big it is. These are photos of sections where earthwork is still going on in some places. Asphalting is going on in some places. Asphalting has been completed. Lane marking in some places. So when people ask, when are you going to finish it? The instructive thing about a road is that as long as this, is that we can't finish the road in one day. We complete it in sections. So we can lock up 10 kilometers and divert traffic to the other side, which you will experience. When that 10 kilometers is built, is finished, it's done. We issue a certificate of completion to the contractor, he gets paid. We open that place to traffic. Once you start driving on this, it's finished, it's done. Because the truth is that when we went on tour, I had to explain this to people. Can you imagine if we didn't do it this way. The only other way to do it was to close the road so that we can have one perfect symmetrical construction. That doesn't happen like that anywhere in the world that I know of. So assuming that we wanted to pour asphalt on one day, where will we get asphalt? Which companies can produce asphalt to cover 375 kilometers of 4 lanes at once? There's no such capacity anywhere in the world in 1 week or in 1 day. Then let us remember, asphalt has to be laid hot at a specified temperature. So how do you keep it hot? So just to let you know this and also to share it with people that this is how roads are built in sections. Whilst lane marking is finished in some places, asphalting is going on. So let's go to the profile of this thing. JB is a contractor. You have 375 kilometers, as I told you. Cost is 797.236 billion. Right now, we have certified 296 billion. Gross percentage completion is about 22.41%, and I will address that later because the drag is on the Abuja to Kaduna section. There's a lot of work because there are 3 sections, but this is the gross report. So, for example, if you have somebody performing at 90% in one place, 80% in one place, and a lower percentage in another place, if you do it up, it will bring down that 90%. But you will see that Abuja, Kaduna, Zarya, Kanu, Zarya are making progress. We are now trying to ramp up on Abuja, Kaduna, which is the most difficult part, and it is the longest part. That is where you have a lot of trucks, trailers. On the way, we have to relocate them. That is the most densely occupied part, so we have to remove, what are they called now? Cable utility lines. We have to relocate communities that have settled there. Then the Ajakuta, Kaduna, Kanu gas pipeline of NNPC also crosses the road somewhere in that section. So we have to wait for them to do their crossing instead of building the road and then cutting it again. So these are some of the logistical issues we were managing. But 1,500 people at the last count go to that route every day to earn a living. And this is important to note. In spite of the security challenges, people still go to work. This is the livelihood source. They must go. So what am I saying? We don't want any security challenges anywhere. But the point I'm trying to make is that sometimes the way the security issues are reported overlooks the fact that people still have to go to work. And they actually do go. We would love a situation where there are no security challenges. Of course, indirect jobs are about 3,100. I will come to this part again in my summing up because it's important to tell the story as I want to tell it. Of course, these are some of the comments, the thickness and the wideness of the Abuja, Kaduna. This is the quality of work that is being done, the thickness of the asphalt, the sub-base, and the cement mix on the pavement. And somebody just telling people he's already having a smooth ride on the completed. So you will have those experiences. There's a place where somebody called me and said he was doing 160. I said maximum speed is 100. He said, no, the road is too smooth. I said, go back to 100, please. So again, those are issues we need you to help us propagate, to educate everybody. The maximum speed on Nigerian highways is 100 kilometers. Maximum. Nobody should exceed it. Ideally, we like it to be at 90. Because when anything goes wrong, you are in better control of your vehicle and you can bring it to a halt. And that is often the reason why accidents happen frequently. Loss of control over speeding is a major component. So if you can help us, this is something I need advocacy about, just to educate people, maximum 100 kilometers per hour. Now, so let's quickly go to the third project, and then I will head to round up. This is the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Now, it's in two sections. The first section is about 44 kilometers awarded to Julius Berger. That's the Lagos to Shagamu. And the second section is from Shagamu to Ibadan, awarded to RCC. Well, everybody is looking for just a road. To the engineers and to some of us who do this work, the road really is more than just the pavement we are all used to. I've had to learn this. The road starts from drainage. If water doesn't run off the road, that road is not going to last. Because, and let me spend a little time here, all what makes up a road, from the laterite that is compounded to the cement, we are looking at taking pieces and bits of things and compound it into a whole. Not so, over kilometers. So we are binding things together essentially. So anytime water starts getting in and can't go out, what does water do? It dissolves things. And that's where, as simple as that, the road begins to fail. Water is even more tolerable. Items like diesel, petrol are much more deleterious solvents. They will quickly destroy your road. So that's why people must not park and be changing engine oil, removing diesel, selling petrol on the roadside. It just is the beginning of the end for that road. And I hope that this audience can help us take that message as far as it should go. It's just, it's like setting a house on fire after you've built it. So the drains are important, and those who have used this road, even as it's being constructed, will see the work that is being done to ensure that whenever it rains or whatever, as it will rain, the water runs off as quickly as possible. That is one of the things that will preserve the design life of the road. So these are already completed sections. The lane marking for this will soon start, and it will begin to look like any road we've seen in the world. So that section, section 1, Lagos to Shagamu, JB, 43.6 kilometers, as I said, is 134 billion. Because what we're doing there is that we're expanding the existing route from 2 to 3 lanes on each carriageway. And we're also providing some other services, service lanes. Amount that has been certified is 83%, 57% completion, and 396 jobs directly, employment, 485 indirect jobs. Just like the Abuja Kaduna Highway, the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway also has at least 40,000 vehicles using it every day. So this is what we have to manage while we are constructing. So for people who have been concerned, oh, this thing is taking long, we wish we could shut it down, but we can't. So we have to manage traffic every day for people to get on with their lives. So let me quickly go. I'll come back to this. That's another slide I've missed. I'll come back to it. So this is section 2 from Shagamu to Ibadan by RCC. So you will see there the stone base is being applied. So after the lateral compartment, we use cross stones, and it is compacted, as you see on the roller on the side, to a significant thickness, and then the asphalt comes on top of it. Now, instructively, let me point out that this road is being reconstructed. So what is really happening is that we are excavating the entire road, removing bad soil, and rebuilding back to at least about, we are excavating to over 1 meter deep on each inch of the 127 kilometers on both sides. So, and it's important to emphasize that. So it's not as if we are just scraping the surface. we're excavating and trucking away all those materials that have been dissolved over the years by diesel. We can't use them again. So we're getting fresh soil. And the same thing is being done using a different technology on the Abuja Kano. What is happening in Abuja Kano is that the new technology has come to Nigeria by Julius Berger. They take the old material, go and reprocess it, recycle it, use chemicals and additives, and then bring it back. But that technology is not available here. And the engineers will tell you that if you build with old or recycled material, because they have been exposed to the elements for a long time, they are stronger if you reuse them. So these are area shots of, as we are building, is beginning to take shape. So the central carriageway there, this is concrete work done inch by inch, meter by meter, until it crosses the entire 127 kilometers. This is manual and mechanized labor to build that concrete barrier over 127 kilometers. So this contractor has 84 kilometers, 176 billion contract sum, certified 123.8 billion, percentage completion 69%, 734 workers, 1,733 indirect jobs. Now to the comments again. I will come back to that slide. Now to the comments again. So for the first time in over 10 years, Lagos-Ibadan Expressway was completely free on Sunday when commuters are trooping to Lagos to prepare for the weekend. Completely free on March 20th. That road makes it to my Thanksgiving list every weekend. So this is somebody's Thanksgiving item. So much quality, the drainage and the curbing are totally wonderful and visionary. One eternal problem solved, 100%. Dear drivers, Lagos-Ibadan is not a race course. It is asphalt 8. There is no need for speed. Please calm down. Don't rush to heaven or hell. So, and I think we need to keep that message, as I said, going. Now, let me go back to the 4 slides that I missed. And I think they are slides 10, 16, 21, 25, and this one. I'll come back quickly to them. So let me just find my way back slowly. And, you know, I don't know how many of you are aware or familiar with the Marshall Plan in Europe at the end of the Second World War. If you are, you will see that from after the Marshall Plan, every country has realized the intrinsic value of infrastructure as an economic driver. If you want to grow your economy, build the infrastructure, whether it's telecom, whether it's shipping, whether it's aviation, whether it's transport. The more infrastructure you have, the more efficient you will be, the more competent and productive you will be. And what happens during infrastructure delivery is that money trickles through the entire value chain. People make money, even if they don't come out to say, I am making money. So let's go through some of it. On the second Niger bridge, to construct that bridge, we're looking at 2,806 tons of cement. 2,806 tons of cement. Let me do the math for you. If 1 ton is 1,000 kg, divide by 50 kg per bag and multiply by this. You will see how many bags of cement is being consumed. Reinforcement, that is steel, 2,613 tons. Coarse aggregate, 14. So coarse aggregate comes from quarries. Blasting, crushing, processing, 14,206 tons. Fine aggregate, 3,757 tons. Crushed stones, 8,684 tons. Bitumen, 761 tons. And diesel, 784,000 liters. But this is small. So let's go to the next slide, and I will just sum them up, just for you to bear in mind that those figures. So this is Abuja, Kano. Same thing, 131,000 tons of cement, 14,000 tons of reinforcement, quartz aggregate 217,000 tons. But look at the diesel component here, 13.8 million liters of diesel. And so on and so forth. So let me go forward again to the next one so that you just get a sense. This is Lagos, Ibadan. This is 34 million liters of diesel. Bitumen, 28,000 tons, crushed stones, reinforcement, and all of that. And again, Section 2, 45 million liters of diesel, bitumen, and so on. So what am I trying to tell you? What picture? First of all, see the aggregate total number of direct jobs. So these are 5,000 families, not just 5,000 of any nomenclature, people who are directly impacted that we can count. These ones are the ones who are the indirect employees. So who are they? Some of them are those people who supply the bitumen, the aggregate, the crushed stones. Julius Berger and construction companies don't keep those materials. What they have are their equipment and maybe their batching plant. Some of them own 1 or 2 quarries, but the truth is that when they need those numbers, is the subcontractors and suppliers. Femi Adesina and Sons, BRF and Co., all of you and Co., Enterprises Limited. Those are the small businesses that drive every economy in the world. Small law firms, accounting firms, engineering consultancies. Those are the people embedded here. That is the supply chain where the money comes from NSIE and hits the road. We haven't started talking about the laborers who earn a daily living every day. And if you sample across Nigeria, daily labor alone ranges between 2,500 a day to, in some places, to 3,500 a day. So this is how the policy of the president reaches the street. Even though he can't meet those people directly, they're feeling the impact of what he's doing. So I just thought that is important. So for people who say, oh, Buhari is building infrastructure, is it only infrastructure? This is a major linchpin of the economic agenda of this country. Because first of all, right now, people are getting stuff to do. So if you go and analyze the GDP results sectorally, you will see that mining is thriving. Mining is under, quarrying is under mining. You will see that the construction sector is booming. This is part of the reason why. You will see petroleum products also booming. This is part of the reason why. And then we haven't talked about the food vendors. At each construction site, people must eat, and they eat twice a day because I interact with them when I go there. A plate of food before all this cost of living started rising significantly was about 2,500 a day, and they eat 250, sorry, and they eat twice a day. So some of the people I speak to there who supply food go home with, after cost, 5,000 naira a day as a food vendor. So this is a major economic driver, and I thought that I should speak to this part last because we focus more on the road, but you will see the millions, hundreds or thousands of tons that affect the cement industry. So if you go to the cement industry, they are working at full steam. So people you and I know are employed there. If this isn't happening, they don't have that work. Now, each of these contracts has a bank guarantee for the money they get. So the banks are making, they don't give guarantees for free. So is hitting the banks as well. Now, each of these contracts also has a 7% value-added tax component. So look at 700 billion and apply 7.5% on Abuja Kano. Look at 206 billion and apply 7.5%. When that VAT comes, collected by FRC, comes to the center, 85% of it goes to the states and contributes to. So there are too many sides of infrastructure that this meeting alone and the time we have cannot let me dwell into. But I think this is a convenient point to stop to make the economic link. Thank you.